Let's try that one more time. Good morning, church. There we go. Good morning. This song that we are about to sing was written by Marvin Frey, who composed this hymn. He was a pianist for many famous evangelist speakers, including Amy Semple, McPherson. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing. I've got peace like a river.
River Good morning, and welcome to Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Reverend Rodney Limmery, and my pronouns are he and him. We come together every Sunday not as perfect beings, but as seekers committed to creating a world we wish to inhabit, even if it's only for this short time that we're together. So whether you're joining us here in the sanctuary, in Borton Hall, outside, or via the live stream, we are really grateful that you are part of this co-creation for a better world. And we hope that you choose to take your experiences and learnings from here with you out into the greater community. And for those of you visiting this morning, welcome. And welcome back if you may be returning to campus after a bit of time away. For those of you online, please join our virtual coffee hour, which will be held 15 minutes after the service. That way you can say hello to the people you hopefully have been chatting with in YouTube. And if you are visiting, we hope that you'll sign a visitor's card, either virtually with us on our website or at our visitors table after the service in Borton Hall, where we also have a connections hour. So most months, on the first Sunday of the month following the service, there's a time where people can sign the membership book. And I just want to lift up that membership is an important part of our community connection, and it gives you full rights and responsibilities within this community. So join us on the first Sundays of every month for our membership Sundays. And for those of you who are in need of a listening ear, we do have pastoral listeners on campus, and you'll be able to identify them. They'll be near the water column during the offertory. We are also a very busy congregation, living out our mission and our UU values, so I'm just going to give you a few of those opportunities now. But I do want to lift up that if you are curious about how to get more engaged, we have revamped our Justice website now, many months back. But it's updated every Thursday, and it contains all of the local and national actions that you can take to be a part of making this world a little bit better. Many of which of those activities you can do from your own home. So it's for everyone. There's something in there for everyone. Also, wanted to let you know that next week we start our rehearsals for the up-and-coming holiday pageant. If you have youth, kids, or you yourself like to perform, this is your chance to be a tongue drummer, a boom whacker, I don't know what these things are, an egg shaker, or a ribbon twirler. I know a ribbon twirler, Marina. I've been called that, I think. There is something for everyone in this holiday tradition, and so please see Marina if you would like to have some fun in our pageant. We also wanted to let you know that if you are looking for a fun, family-friendly way to celebrate Halloween, we are looking for people to present activity tables at next week's Halloween party. So if that is something you are interested in, you have an idea for a treat or some kind of table activity you would like to do with the youth and children, please also see Marina and volunteer. And finally, welcome to this, our beloved community.
Good morning. I'm Andrew Oswald, a member of your Board of Trustees. My pronouns are he and him. Welcome to our service. We begin our services by reading our mission together. We bring to life our Unitarian Universalist values as we seek truth and work for justice, nurture compassion and courage, reach out to each other and to our larger community of faith, bridge the divisions that wound the human family, transform ourselves and our world. Thank you for your support of our community, including your financial and volunteer support. Please save the date for our annual Bid for Love auction, which is November 8th. This is our largest fundraiser of the year and a great chance to meet people. We have a congregational forum happening today as we prepare to look at our collective purpose and organizational vision. We have a light lunch available for those staying at the forum. Please come give your input as we discuss the dreams and hopes for our campus and this important congregational work. Here at MDUUC, Let's keep showing that we know how to meet the moment through the spirit of mutual aid. We can do that best through helping out and volunteering as we can, because that is what makes this place work. And welcome. It's good to be together.
Good morning. I also want to mention that we have a Walnut Creek Jazz Band concert here tonight, if you want to just do something fun. So that's another little piece. There's just a few things going on. But this is the time for our welcome, and I just invite you, Reverend Rodney's going to invite us into our shared flow. So as you greet each other, please say, "Glad you're in the flow today."
I texted it. It's okay. It's okay.
Ánimo, mi alma, y así caminaré siempre, junto a ti, y así yo creceré. Courage, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you, and sing your spirit home. La libertad, mi alma, y así yo rezaré. Oraré junto a ti, y así yo viviré. Freedom, my friend, you do not pray alone, 'cause we will pray with you, and sing your spirit home.
Hi, my name is Deontay, and I'd like to invite you to light this chalice with me. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the loving hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together we care for our earth and work for friendship and peace in our world.
Thank you. This morning, I'm going to ask for your help in acting out our story today. Today, this blue ribbon that Reverend Rodney and Leslie are holding is a river. And all of you sitting here on the left-hand side of the congregation, you are boulders. So can I have Elle come stand right in front of this side of the congregation? Can everybody practice a boulder pose with Elle? Amazing. And then can I have Jameson come stand on this side? Everybody that's on this side of the congregation, you are all a dam. Can I see everybody strike a dam pose? Okay. Boulder pose, show me your boulders. Dam pose, show me your dam. Oh, look, even the kiddos are doing it too. That's amazing. Awesome. When the river is flowing past you, our ribbons, you can reach out and touch it and feel its movement or hold it for a moment, since that's what obstacles like boulders and dams do. They interact with the river, and the river always finds her way. Okay, are we ready for our story? Yeah. One more practice. Boulders, rivers. Sorry, I meant dam. It won't be the river. Trick question.
Many years ago, high in the mountains where snow sparkled like diamonds, a small spring bubbled up from the earth. It was first just a trickle, no larger than your hand, laughing as it tumbled over moss and stone.
I am river, it sang, and I am going to the sea. The brook flowed downhill, gathering raindrops and melting snow. She grew wider, stronger, and more confident. Her waters sparkled in the sunlight. She nourished the roots of ancient trees and gave drink to deer and rabbits. The river felt like her power to create, to change, and to give life was stirring within her until she stood to face her first boulder. Boulders, strike your pose.
It was large and gray directly in her path. The river pushed against it. The boulder didn't budge. "You cannot pass," said the boulder. "I have been here for 1,000 years. I am too heavy, too solid, too permanent. Turn back, little river." The river felt frustrated. She felt angry. She threw herself against the boulder again and again, her waters churning white with effort. But the boulder had one thing correct. The boulders were too heavy to move. The river could exhaust herself forever and achieve nothing.
So the river tried something different. She stopped fighting. She leaned into her own nature. She felt powerful in being flowing, adaptive, and persistent. So she split herself in two, flowing both sides of the boulder at once. All right, boulders, show me your boulder pose.
"Farewell, boulder," the river sang. "Thank you for teaching me." The river continued to flow, gaining strength with each mile. And soon she encountered a dam that humans had built, blocking her path. "Now we need," okay, good, we got it. "Halt," said the dam. "We built this to control you, to make you into something useful, a reservoir, a pond. Stay still and calm and contained." The people who built the dam were afraid. Thank you, dams. They feared the river's power and her unpredictability. They wanted to control what they didn't understand. So they stacked logs and mud and stones across her path.
So the river felt her power building behind the dam. Part of her wanted to rage, to break through with force and fury, but she remembered Boulder's lesson, and she felt into her own nature once again. The river was patient. Day after day, she pushed gently against the dam. She found tiny cracks and speeded through them. She saturated and softened and seeped. She didn't fight the dam. She transformed it one drop at a time. Drop by drop, day by day, year by year, finally the dam began to crumble. Not from violence, but from river's steady, patient presence. And the river flowed through, continuing her journey.
The river brought life wherever she went. She carried seeds to new places. She created homes for fish and frogs and turtles. You know what I need now, right? Can I have a couple of volunteers to strike a pose as fish? Deontay, will you strike a pose as a fish? Give me a big fish pose. This is a very thoughtful fish. Oh, great. And now I need a frog. Can I have a frog volunteer? Thank you so much, Javi. Will you be our frog? You're stuck in the ribbon. Okay, we've got our frog over here, and I think we need a turtle. Can I have it? Oh, will you strike a pose as a turtle? Can you give us a big turtle pose? Amazing. The river gave water to thirsty communities. And yes, sometimes human built more dams. Sometimes there were more boulders. But the river always remembered her power wasn't in fighting what stood in her way. Her power was in her nature, flowing, adapting, persisting, and in time transforming everything she touched. Finally, after a journey of hundreds of miles and many years, the river reached the ocean. Now, I need the whole congregation to help me out here. Can we all become the ocean and do the wave? When I point to your side of the room, I want you to raise your arms like a big wave. Let's do a practice round. Ready? Go. Oh, amazing. But we need a big whoosh sound. Can we add a whoosh sound? Let's start over here. Ready? Whoosh. Awesome. Even louder. Look at that big, beautiful, collaborative ocean. The river spread wide, becoming part of something vast and infinite. But she hadn't stopped being herself. She had simply become more connected, more expansive, and more whole. And with that, I'd like to invite you to join us in singing our children and youth to their activities.
Good morning. I'm Sharon Solstice. My pronouns are she and her. And it's just me today. Sorry to disappoint. But I'm here on behalf of the Bid for Love organizing team. And I want to thank you to all of you who have donated something at this point. We truly appreciate it. So, in my mind, a successful auction has two components. It raises money, and it builds community. And both of these things need to happen in order for an event, this event, to be successful. And the donations of events are the donations that most fully support this, in that they raise the most money and they develop the most community. And so while I want to thank you for all of you who have contributed artwork, crafts, baked goods, keep them coming, keep them coming. I will say we have enough two-dimensional artwork. I'm not looking for that. But for the other pieces for the Craft Plaza, we still would like more of. But the most important thing is to get more donations of the events. And we have only about 25% of what we should have, and we have 2 more weeks. So plenty of time to get them in. Go to the homepage of MDUUC.org and click on the big purple button there, and it'll take you through some information, and the submission page is at the bottom. When I think about events, what I think about is food, breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, tea, tastings, chocolate tastings, wine tastings, maybe some cooking classes. I think about activities like hiking, biking, boating, bocce. We already have pickleball. Mini golf, bunch of other things that aren't coming to my mind. Trips, organize a trip to a museum, to a botanical garden, to a historical site, to your special place for a picnic. Sporting events. Or give lessons. Teach somebody golf, tennis, music, origami, your favorite craft. And I also want to say, if people have ideas for virtual online events, that lets more people participate who might not be able to participate in the online events. And I used to be the treasurer here, and one of the things I liked to say when I was the treasurer, and I'm going to say it now in this context, is if we want this community to thrive, we need to be the ones to make it so. Thank you.
I'm Peter Morse. My pronouns are he and him. This morning, I invite you to consider a favorite canyon and riverine landscape of mine, just south of Donner Summit, known as Royal Gorge, through which the North Fork of the American River flows. I love this river theme. For eons, this ribbon of cascading waters has cut through the volcanic caprock and the massive granitic root that form and shape our beloved High Sierra. Though we marvel at the canyon walls and polished rock, it is the river's work. The North Fork is not the mightiest river flowing west of the Sierra Crest, nor the widest or the deepest. In some seasons, you can easily wade across it. Yet this river has carved Royal Gorge, nationally recognized by Congress and protected in 1978 under the Federal Wild and Scenic Rivers Act. I just had to add that, reminding us all how important Congress has been to the conservation effort and how they work together to pass laws like the Wild and Scenic River Act. And I hope we have a Congress that does that sometime in the not too distant future once again. The river does most of its carving in the tumultuous annual spring snowmelt. As it sculpts its way through solid stone, the shapes carved are signatures of the river's prowess in downward sculpting. It polishes smooth, sun-warmed shapes, for me best known through touch during the waning days of summer. But the river also quietly carves downward during all seasons, drop by drop, day by day, year by year, each flow carrying a quartz grain, rounded pebbles, pumpkin-sized cobbles, and rocky boulders. The solid granitic faces, seemingly eternal, yield to the river's persistent flow. We live in a world that rewards sudden transformation. We may grow impatient with ourselves, frustrated when we cannot see immediate results from our efforts toward justice, toward healing, toward just becoming. But the river can teach us another way. The river teaches us that persistence pays off, that small repeated actions can transform what seems immovable. Think of the personal transformations you have witnessed in yourself or perhaps those you love. These weren't sudden conversions, but the gradual wearing away of old patterns, the slow exposure of deeper truths. Royal Gorge is beautiful, not because the rock erodes easily, but because the river's persistently endures. The gorge's shape and depth tell a story millions of years in the making. Each year reveals a different era, a different truth. The river did not erase this history, it exposed it, revealing depths that were always there but hidden. Both river and stone are necessary to create the awesome beauty of the gorge, but it is the river that perhaps should first draw our eyes. It is the grand sculptor of geomorphic processes that are ancient and ongoing. Then, bless you, the North Fork of the American River neither hurries nor rests. It simply flows with patience and seasonal strengths that form a gorge worthy of being called royal. Come, let us worship together.
Ollie Neer wrote this song in memory of Harvey Milk, and it's become an anthem of peaceful resistance for LGBTQ plus people and their allies. As what happens with many songs of resistance, we add lyrics sometimes to speak more to the now, and so I've added a verse that says, we're trans in B and cis together to incorporate our UU faith's gender inclusivity. NB stands for non-binary, to engage all those who are fluid within and who break through societal's binary. So please, rise in body or in spirit as we sing, We Are a Gentle, Angry People. Are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are justice-seeking people. We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We're trans and bi and cis together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We're trans and bi and cis together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gentle, angry, loving people. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
This is the time in our service when we Take into the collective loving heart of this community those joys and sorrows that are too great to hold alone. And I'm going to ask Reverend Rodney, for those who've written in our book of joys and sorrows, I'd ask for you to come forward at this time. And I want to ask Reverend Rodney to light the first candle for us today. Just recognizing that over the course of the last year, we have lost, both collectively in this community and individually, many people who are near and dear to us to death, and to just remind us that next week is our All Souls service, when we will honor them together. And if you have, no matter when the loss was, our dead remain with us and precious, so please bring a picture or an item to put on our altar, perhaps some food or drink that was precious. And also, if you would like to walk in our procession with a candle, please talk to me before next week. So thank you. The Lisa Kahn and Jean Evans are lighting a candle, 2 candles. The first is a candle of concern for and sorrow for Lisa's nephew and his family. On October 10th, his 8-year-old son died of cancer. And the second candle of sorrow is for Lisa's younger sister, who suffers from mental illness and is currently in the hospital. We're holding you both, Jean and Lisa. Thank you. And Dawn Greenlee is asking us to light a candle today. She asks that we light a candle for peace, in thanks for the return of living hostages, and a prayer for the continued peace for all those impacted. And Scott Schrader is lighting a candle today on behalf of the Caring Committee, really 2 candles. One is for the 90-plus birthdays this month. And our congregants, Tony Newey, who is 91 this month, and Doug Schuster, who is 94 this month and still bowling. And I ask Reverend Rodney to light 2 final candles. One holds those joys and sorrows that are within our hearts but not expressed in words, and the other holds our hopes and dreams for our nation and for our world.
Please remain seated as we sing this chant composed by Rabbi Nathan Siegel, who's a musician, spiritual teacher, and rabbi living in Marin. It expresses his desire to build loving community. We'll sing through it 3 times. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation this morning. And maybe just take a moment to come into this space, to find your breath or a rhythm within your body of movement or swaying, to put down what you're carrying, either literally or figuratively, and to summon into our collective presence today all that is holy and sacred, and all the names we give it. Spirit of life, God of many names, whose highest name is also love. Source of all, blessed community, let us be grateful this morning for the river, for its persistence, for its dedication, flowing through the dams, over the boulders. And let us pause here in this time when we hold together that which we cannot hold alone, our gratitude as well for the river's capacity to lift and carry all that it lifts and carries. For we are the river, and the river is us, and in that relationship we remember our interdependence with all who are. So in the river today, let us remember that we are part of a river where some of the molecules are our children, some of our molecules are our elders, some of our molecules are our young adults who are always wondering what will come next in their lives. And we're grateful for the river, for all that it carries, for those who are immigrants and want to be reminded that we see them as our neighbors, for our LGBTQI kin, who always want to be reminded in these times that we recognize their sacred holiness. For our federal workers, furloughed and confused, that we lift them also into this flow. We're grateful for its strength today. And all who are with us, and gratitude for the width of our understanding of all that we carry in the flow. So we'll take a moment now to remember that also in the flow with us are the security guards in those federal courtrooms, are the people who have suddenly found themselves working for agencies because it is in their financial survival to do so. For those who are hoping they can just be carried along in this flow and not have to do anything to change its course. All of us are in this flow together. And we're grateful for our faith, which reminds us that we are all just people, perfect and imperfect, flawed and also precious, being carried in the river of life. And we are grateful to be part of the flow. In the name of all that is holy and sacred, let us together hold this in our collective memory. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. Greetings, my name is Elizabeth Deach, and I am a member of your Board of Trustees. My pronouns are she and her. This is an interesting place for me to be, right up here. Not used to this, but people are telling me, get used to it, Elizabeth. Okay, I'm getting the memo. Many people have come before me, and many people have gone before me, and many people will come after to deliver the call for offering. Let me pose this question to all of you. What cherished moments do you have with this church? There are two standout moments for me. Nigel and Nicholas, my sons, coming of age, credos at the pulpit, 2 years apart, with their peers sitting by their side in the choir area, their valued mentors witnessing, and you, the congregation, listening very carefully. Powerful. This 8-month program required the youth to examine various religions and spurred their thinking and perspectives about decisions they will need to make today and in the future. It sharpened their critical thinking skills, exposed them to topics they would not have had otherwise, and gave them an additional level of confidence to be independent thinkers grounded by knowledge. This is my personal story, and I look forward to hearing what some of your special and tender moments are with this congregation. I really want to know. There's a lot that goes on under our roof. Friendships are sparked, your soul is soothed, the bid for love events, community circles, and loads of support. So I'm asking you to write a check, push the Give Now button, sign up as a volunteer,
submit your pledge form, and try a new activity. Thank you. Please join me in reading the dedication of the offering. To the work of this community in transforming ourselves and our world, we dedicate ourselves and our offerings.
I have a question. When you think about justice movements, do you picture yourself pushing against something or flowing towards something? I invite you to just sit with that question for a moment. Notice what images may come to your mind or how that question lands in your body. So in September 2018, Michelle Alexander wrote her debut New York Times column, "We Are Not the Resistance." Her words, written during a turbulent time, the first Trump presidency, which feels like a fever dream at this point, felt both comforting and inspiring to me. At the time, I thought they belonged to a specific moment in time, but boy, was I wrong. Here we are 4 years later, and now 10 months into a more dangerous regime than we experienced before. Her words feel even more essential as I struggle sometimes to search for a grounding hope in these times. Resistance is a reactive state of mind, she writes. While it can be necessary for survival and to prevent catastrophic harm, it can also tempt us to set our sights too low and to restrict our field of vision to the next election cycle, leading us to forget our ultimate purpose and place in history. These words from Michelle Alexander invite us to reflect on what it means to call ourselves the resistance. When we do, she notes that we let our opposition define us and thus shape our identity. We become their worst imagination, Antifa, the violent. Alexander offers a different perspective. Authoritarianism, oppression, and injustice, they are all like boulders or dams. They are temporary obstacles placed in the path of a river. The river itself represents the steady, ongoing movement toward progress and justice. We are not simply pushing against barriers. We are the water, always moving, shaping, and persisting in the flow toward liberation and beloved community. Here's the paradigm shift Michelle Alexander offers. Those who build the walls, ban the books, roll back rights, may call themselves patriots, but in a deeper sense, they are trying to resist the natural current of American progress, like dams against a river. We, the people moving toward justice, should not be defined by our acts of resisting them. Instead, we could recognize that they are the ones standing in the way of a river, the beautiful, continuous, unstoppable flow of justice and expanding compassion. I love this reframing, and it also gives me pause. As Peter in his call to worship shared with us, while this flow is constant and occurs, the changes made are often done over thousands of years, or in our case, hundreds, before anything is reshaped. It's the river's form. The river's form, rather, is not forceful against the rock. It is patient, it is persistent, and transformation takes time. None of us want to hear that, but it is, in fact, the truth. The water does not struggle to become harder than the rock, but it remains true to itself, changing the landscape around it through its persistent, steady flow. I believe that this is a ancient piece of wisdom, known and practiced by those who have endured the longest struggles for freedom. And it's a part of our very own Unitarian Universalist heritage as well. Many of our spiritual ancestors understood this river consciousness that Michelle Alexander articulates. For example, Theodore Parker, the Unitarian minister and abolitionist, is one of those ancestors, along with his colleague, the Reverend Thomas Wentworth Higginson, another Unitarian minister. These men didn't just preach against slavery. They were not just abolitionists. They were part of what was known as the Secret Six, a group of 6 people, men, who funded and supported the abolitionist John Brown's raid on Harper Ferry, a slave revolt that had been referred to in history by historians as the dress rehearsal for the Civil War. These men understood that they were part of an ancient current of justice that was already flowing, that had always been flowing. Slavery was but a dam. It may seem to some of us that we are living in a time where the dam building is happening nearly constantly, but we need to remember that this has been happening since the beginning of our nation's history for so many of our friends and family. This past week, for example, the U.S. Supreme Court heard a case that could complete the gutting of the 1964 Voting Rights Act. This gutting has been happening since the 1980s in our court system. The Voting Rights Act was passed to ensure that all states, especially southern states, complied with the 15th Amendment, which prohibits states from denying citizens the rights to vote based on race, color, or, quote, previous condition of servitude. While we await the court's decision, I am reminded that progress pushes forward. Even if this act is gutted through the courts, I believe we still will be swept up in progress's current. History tells us that the flow is there and that we need to be patient. Not passive, but patient. Now, we have to understand that we may never see the river's end, but generations after us may. And just to help us kind of think about that, I want to tell you about a young woman who in 1963, her name was Fannie Lou Hamer, delivered a speech with Malcolm X at a rally at the Williams Institutional CME Church in Harlem, New York. It was organized to support the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Congressional Challenge. In this speech, Fannie Lou explains her heralding ordeal just simply trying to register to vote in Mississippi. Her experiences are nothing that anyone should have ever had to endure, especially for doing something as simple as trying to register to vote. She had to attempt to pass the literacy test 5 times before passing it, only then to recognize that she had to pay 2 poll taxes in order for the registration to be complete. Fannie Lou Hamer didn't define herself by these atrocities. She didn't become the resistance to poll taxes or literacy tests. Instead, she reminded herself that she was part of a river that had been flowing long before plantation owners were ever born and before the U.S. was even a nation. She went on to become a powerful community organizer, helping hundreds of people register to vote. And in that very speech, she spoke the famous words, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." She was not asking permission to be part of America. Instead, she reminded everyone in that room that the river of freedom and democracy that America claims to represent already included her and her community in its current. She was part of the river, while America's antiquated institutions were temporary dams trying to contain it. Can you feel the power in that perspective? Let that awareness that you hope you are feeling motivate you. not just in your thought, but in action. Maybe today's the day that you decide to join the flow of the river. Maybe today's the day that you decide to speak up, organize, or uplift someone whose current aligns with the larger river of justice. Maybe today's the day that you want to become an active part of this unstoppable movement. Many of you already are. I saw lots of you yesterday at the No Kings rally. That's right, there's joy in the river, y'all. Now, I invite you just to take a little bit of a breath with me. If you can, try and connect to the story of Fannie Lou Hamer. Try and witness the power to authentically hold who you are, even with an entire room of people against you. Now I'm going to invite you to turn to someone near you and remind them that you don't need permission to be who you are. Now, I want to be me too, and so I now have to ask myself, where does this river flow in my own bloodline? And now I'm speaking to you as a white man of European descent. And when Michelle Alexander and others in my life invite me to connect with my ancestors flowing in the river of justice, I am reminded I have to be careful, deeply careful, about what ancestors I connect with. Because the truth is, some of my ancestors may have been enslavers. Some of my ancestors may have taken up arms against Native peoples in this country's original genocide. And while some of my direct Irish ancestors were sharecroppers themselves, all of them benefited from the systems of oppression around them, even if not personally wielding a whip or a gun. If I am not careful, if I reach back carelessly, I might find myself connecting with the very people who built the dams that attempted to stop the river. For white Americans, this is particular work, looking deep into our heritage, reaching past centuries of colonialism to find the indigeneity thread that exists within our DNA too. This effort calls for a quest to connect with ancestors who understood what it meant to be the river before that memory was exchanged for the comfort of whiteness, before they became the boulders in the streams of justice. In my case, it meant searching back to my Irish ancestors who have known and still know what it means to belong to community and to flow with power toward progress and justice. For example, during the Great Hunger, also known as the Irish Potato Famine, the British Empire kept exporting food from Ireland while millions of Irish starved and another million emigrated out of the country. My direct ancestors were among those who emigrated to America. The British blamed the Irish for their suffering, framing it as inevitable and even deserved. But here's what the Irish understood. They were not the problem. They were people of art, music, language, deep spirituality, and community care. These things had existed for thousands of years before the British colonization, and they would continue to exist despite it. Even during the worst bit of starvation, Irish people maintained their traditional music, their storytelling, and even after the British outlawed the Irish language, Gaelic, informal schools met in hidden locations, such as outdoor fields. They were called hedge schools because they would often gather behind hedges, teaching each other the Irish language, keeping a lookout for anyone who might come. By defining oppressive laws, these schools persevered and preserved Irish cultural heritage and their language throughout the generations. They didn't wait for British permission to be Irish. They simply were. There is a traditional Irish proverb, which was very similar to our meditation hymn. That proverb states, "We live in each other's shelter." It is used to remind ourselves that we are part of community and that our success and failure are inevitably tied to one another. Even in the darkest times, even when they could not see where the river ended, couldn't imagine when or how liberation might come, they maintained the understanding. We are the river of community, of mutual care, of culture that flows through us. They knew that empire was the temporary dam. This is the ancestral current I want to connect with. Not with my Irish ancestors who became police officers beating civil rights marchers, not the Irish who participated in racism only to gain acceptance as, quote, white in America, but the deeper current of a people who knew oppression and who maintained their humanity, their culture, and their community through it. My work is to find my own lineage, the memory of being the river, so that I can align myself with that ancient current of justice, rather than with the temporary structures of oppression that some of my more recent ancestors may have built or defended. My Irish ancestors could not see an independent Ireland, nor could they envision their descendants living freely in America. Theodore Parker and Reverend Thomas Wentworth Higginson could not see the Civil Rights Act, but all of these people knew they were part of the river that could carve those valleys. Fannie Lou Hamer could not see Barack Obama's presidency or the ongoing struggle for voting rights from 1963 to today. But she was already part of the river that would make all of these realities possible. And we cannot see the river's destination from here either. We don't know what justice will look like 7 generations from now, and we cannot imagine all the ways the landscape will be transformed by our flowing. But we don't need to see it. We just need to feel it. So today, I'm going to try to remember that we are not the resistance. We are the river. White Christian nationalism, authoritarianism, hatred in all its forms, these are the resistance. They are resisting the ancient, unstoppable flow of justice, love, and liberation of which we are a part. We are connected to every freedom struggle that came before us and every one that will come after us. We keep our eyes on the prize, not because we can see the river's end from here, but because we trust its flow. So the next time I feel tired or hopeless, enraged or overwhelmed, I will remember I am the river. I will flow through daily acts of kindness and organized movements for change. I will flow through those who help raise our children in better ways. I will flow through how we vote. I will flow through what we create and what we refuse to perpetrate. I will flow through our art and our activism. I will flow through our mourning and our celebration. I will flow through our community. We are the river. We have always been the river, and we will always be the river. And the river, patient, persistent, and unstoppable, will always find its way home.
Our closing song is Hold On, Keep Your Hand on the Plow, which comes from the Black church tradition and was popularized during the Civil Rights period, often titled as Keep Your Eyes on the Prize by many. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing this song of endurance, resistance, and steadfast perseverance. Here we go. Nora, Nora, let me come in. Doors all fastened and the windows pinned. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, hold on. Nora said you done lost your track. Can't plow straight and keep a looking your hand on the plow and hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your hand on the plow, hold on, freedom's name is mighty sweet, and soon we are gonna meet. Keep your hand on the plow, hold on. God's hand on the gospel plow, won't take nothing from a journey now. Keep your hand on the plow, hold on. Oh neighbor, hold on. Oh church, hold on. Keep your hand on the plow and hold on, hold on. Oh parents, hold on. Oh country, hold on. Keep your hand on that great plow and hold on.
Had to do a quick switch. Sorry, y'all. As the chalice in this room is extinguished, may its light kindle the flame in our hearts until we meet again. And may we be a people of faith that Theodore Parker points to when he said, I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one. My eye reaches but little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience. And from what I see, I'm sure it bends towards justice.
Things we've already built. Sons and fathers die, soldiers, daughters give. Questioning, do we have resources to rebuild? It's do we have the will? Perilous dissidents, evening up the score. Do we even know what we're fighting for? Destiny is crippled and thrown about on the floor. When we're waging war, questions that call to us, we all reflect upon. Where do we belong and where do we come from? Questions that call to us, we all reflect upon. Till it's done.